Chapter 2. Thoughts are things. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Lao Tzu. Depression is a thought. I know that might sound oversimplified or even offensive to someone who's struggling, but hear me out. I'm not dismissing the very real pain and suffering that depression causes. I've been there. What I'm saying is that depression, at its core, is a thought pattern that has grown into a belief and solidified into a state of mind. Picture this. As you read or hear these words, your brain is generating thousands of thoughts. Most flow by unnoticed, but some stick, some repeat, some grow stronger with attention, until they feel more real than the chair you're sitting in. Think about it. A baby knows nothing of depression. Babies cry when they're hungry, uncomfortable, or need attention, but they don't wake up thinking, "What's the point of it all?" Therefore, depression has to be something learned or gained, not something we're born with. The sleep proof. Sleep is the silent bridge between breakdown and breakthrough. S.K.O. Here's a simple test I call the sleep proof. Can a person be depressed while they're sleeping? Think about it carefully. When you're in deep sleep, your brain is still functioning, your heart is still beating, your body is still alive and working, yet there's no anxiety or depression during sleep, unless you're having nightmares. And even nightmares aren't set in stone. They can change, they can be influenced, they can be worked with. This tells us that depression requires active mental participation. It's not a constant biological state. It's something that happens when we're consciously engaging with certain thought patterns. The moment you fall asleep, the depression thoughts stop running. They don't exist in unconsciousness. They need your conscious mind to participate in creating them. Key insight box. The sleep test. Depression cannot exist without conscious thought participation. During deep sleep, when the thinking mind is offline, depression disappears. This proves depression is a mental activity, not a biological condition. The smile test. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. The Thich Nhat Hanh. Let me prove this to you right now. I can literally make myself force a smile if I choose to. Or, vice versa, a frown. You can too. Try it. Right now, you can literally use your thoughts to control the muscles of your mouth area perfectly. Feel the corners of your mouth turning upward. Notice how even this small physical change shifts something in your chest, in your energy. It's subtle but real. You can also think of something that genuinely makes you happy, a memory, a person, a silly joke, and instantly feel that shift in your body, that lightness that comes with a smile. If you can make yourself smile by choosing a different thought, then you've just proven that you can choose different thoughts. And if you can choose different thoughts, then you have power over your mental state that you might not have realized. But the power of thoughts goes even deeper than mental states. It affects your physical body at the cellular level. Dr. Emoto's water discovery. Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese researcher, discovered something that should fundamentally change how we think about the power of consciousness. In his groundbreaking experiments, he exposed water to different words, thoughts, and emotions, then froze the water and photographed the ice crystals that formed. The results were stunning. Water exposed to positive words like love, gratitude, and peace formed beautiful symmetrical crystals that look like snowflakes or jewels. Water exposed to negative words like hate, fear, and you make me sick formed distorted, chaotic patterns that looked broken and ugly. Here's why this matters for depression. Your body is approximately 60 to 70% water. If thoughts and words can physically restructure water crystals, imagine what your thoughts are doing to the water in your cells, your blood, your brain. When you think depressing thoughts, you're literally creating physical chaos in your body. When you choose uplifting thoughts, you're creating physical harmony at the cellular level. This isn't just mental health, this is molecular health. Your thoughts aren't just in your head, they're restructuring your body in real time. Reflection moment. Right now, before reading further, make yourself smile. Hold it for 10 seconds. Notice what happens in your body and mind. You just proved your power over your own state. The 1-second revolution. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Lao Tzu. Here's something I discovered. If you can hold a positive thought for 1 second, you can hold it for 2 seconds. If you can hold it for 2, you can extend it to 5. This is essentially meditation and thought control in action. Start small. Right now, think of something beautiful. Maybe a sunset you've seen, a person you love, or a moment of pure joy. Hold that thought. Feel it. Now hold it 1 second longer. We do this naturally all the time. Most people wouldn't entertain really disturbing thoughts unless they're secretly into that kind of thing. When a gross or inappropriate thought pops up, people actively and consciously make the choice to think of something else. We already have this ability. We just don't realize we're using it. The problem is that we've been taught to think of our thoughts as things that happen to us, rather than things we actively create. We say, "I am depressed," instead of, "I am thinking depressing thoughts right now." That small shift in language reveals a massive shift in power. Insight box. The language of power. I am depressed equals powerless victim. I am thinking depressing thoughts equals active participant with choice. This isn't semantics, it's the difference between prison and freedom. Catching thoughts in real time. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Viktor Frankl. Sometimes I feel like things can't or won't get any better. When I unconsciously allow low-level depressing thoughts or energy to dwell in or around me, I instantly feel sick and stressed. I know that if I stay in that state for too long, something physical can manifest in me that causes dis-ease. It starts subtly, a heaviness in the chest, a slight slowing of movement, a dimming of colors in my peripheral vision. These are the early warning signs that depressive thoughts are taking root. Other examples of thoughts I catch in real time. If I don't achieve my inner goals soon, then I'm a failure. That person's success means I'm not good enough. Nothing ever works out for me. I'll never be happy. Back in the day, if I didn't win a girl over and she chose someone else, I'd think, it must mean I wasn't good enough. I can feel how that thought would settle into my stomach like a stone, creating a whole cascade of self-doubt. If I continued to believe or participate in any of these thought patterns day after day, I'm sure I would find myself in a very low place. I don't even want to imagine that place. So I try to stay clear from negativity, unless I'm healthy and ready to take it on, because prevention is the first step to solving all problems. Placing thoughts outside yourself. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who watches them come and go. I'm known. Once you're infected with depressive thoughts, you must actively replace or properly place those feelings, desires, and ideas in their proper place, outside of yourself. You observe them from a place of stillness and never let them run the forefront of your mind. But here's what makes this challenging. There's a part of your mind that wants to take everything personally. I call this the ego trap. The ego trap. The ego isn't your true self. It's a costume, stitched from expectations, fear, and the need to be seen. It survives on validation, craves control, and confuses attention with love. But beneath it all, you are something far quieter, far stronger, something that doesn't need to perform to exist. S.K.O. Here's something I discovered that changed everything. Most depression isn't about what's happening, it's about ego taking everything personally. The ego is like a drama queen that thinks every movie is about them. Traffic isn't trying to ruin your day, but ego thinks it's a personal attack. Rain isn't targeting you specifically, but ego feels victimized by the weather. Your friend doesn't text back immediately, and ego creates a whole story about rejection and abandonment. The personal story generator. The ego is essentially a story-making machine that takes impersonal events and creates personal narratives. What actually happens? Boss seems stressed during meeting. Ego's story. He hates me. I'm probably getting fired. I'm a failure. What actually happens? Friend cancels dinner plans. Ego's story. Nobody values me. I'm always the backup option. I'm unlovable. What actually happens? Social media post gets few likes. Ego's story. Nobody cares about me. I'm invisible. My life is meaningless. Notice how the ego always makes it about you. This is the depression manufacturing plant right inside your head. The impersonal reality. Most of what happens in life is completely impersonal. People are dealing with their own problems. Systems are operating according to their own logic. Nature follows natural laws. Events unfold based on countless factors that have nothing to do with you. When you take things personally, you're essentially claiming responsibility for things you don't control, while giving up responsibility for things you do control, like your response. The ego interrupt. When you catch yourself taking something personally, ask, is this actually about me? Or is ego making it about me? What if this has nothing to do with me personally? How would I respond if I knew this wasn't personal? This simple shift from personal to impersonal can instantly deflate depressive spirals. Beyond the ego story. You are not your ego. You are not the body. You are not your name, nor likes or dislikes. You are the awareness that can observe ego creating its stories. When you realize you're watching ego take things personally, you've already stepped outside of its influence. The observer, the real you, doesn't take anything personally because it knows it's not actually separate from everything else. It's just witnessing the play of life without making every scene about itself. Depression often dissolves when you stop being the star of ego's victim drama and start being the director of your own consciousness. Mental health is only as real as we make it. Imagine your thoughts as clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness. You are the sky, vast, unchanging, unaffected. The clouds come and go, but the sky remains. This might sound abstract, but it's actually quite practical. Placing thoughts outside yourself is simply done through realizing you're not your thoughts, addictions, or habits. These things may temporarily shape your form or identity to where it appears or feels like it's all you. But once those things go, it is the real you that still remains. We have to hold on to this part, the observer, the awareness that notices thoughts coming and going, until we can truly acknowledge and realize our true selves. This will then clearly identify what is not a natural part of you. The feeling of separating from your thoughts can be scary, relieving, inspiring, or whatever, depending on which aspect of your mind is responding. But if you stop believing in the false feelings and identities and just return to your true self, that's all it takes in the moment. Key practice box. The observer technique. Notice the depressive thought arising. Name it. I'm having the thought that. Place it outside. This thought is visiting me, but it's not me. Choose what to focus on instead. The mind is all. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Buddha. Pain, suffering, and depression are very real. Mental health is very real. But it's only as real as we make it. We, with our thoughts, can make ourselves feel scared, anxious, happy, or angry. The power is within us. Right now, you could think of something that makes you angry and feel your body temperature rise. You could think of something embarrassing and feel your cheeks flush. You could think of something you're grateful for and feel your chest expand. Your thoughts are literally creating your physical reality. This doesn't mean we should dismiss people's struggles or pretend that changing thoughts is always easy. What it means is that we have more agency than we've been told. Instead of being victims of our mental states, we can become conscious participants in creating them. The moment you realize that you're actively involved in creating your emotional states, everything changes. You're no longer asking, "Why is this happening to me?" You're asking, "How am I creating this? And how can I create something different?" That shift from victim to creator is the beginning of true mental freedom. And once you taste that freedom, you'll never want to go back to feeling powerless over your own mind. The ultimate truth. If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. Lao Tzu. Thoughts are things. Depression is a thought. And if you can think yourself into depression, you can think yourself out of it. The question isn't whether you have this power. The question is whether you're ready to use it. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing that every thought is a choice. Every emotion is influenced by your mental focus. Every moment of suffering is optional. How would you live differently? Chapter summary. Key takeaways from Chapter 2. Depression requires conscious thought participation. You can't be depressed while sleeping. Proves it's mental, not biological. You can control your facial expressions and emotions through thought. Thoughts can be observed and placed outside of yourself. Mental health is as real as you make it through your thinking. You are the creator of your emotional states, not the victim. Reflection questions. What thoughts do you consistently think that create suffering? Can you remember a time when changing your thoughts changed your mood? What would your life look like if you truly believed you control your mental states? In the next chapter, we'll explore where these depressive thoughts actually come from and why someone is making billions of dollars keeping you mentally unwell.